Um, you can drop your chats on the side. If you want to make sure you add Restream, I'll be able to see who is typing. I know this is all very exciting and everyone's like, okay, let's get started. But we really want to share our statement for 2023 and why we started this. I just want to make sure if everyone can hear me okay. If again, just drop that in the chat, thumbs up. I'm going to start the intro and then I am going to have Erin join me from the Philippines in a little bit. It's in the middle of the night for her, so thank you, because she's going to be hosting the portion for our Babel Babes PH. So more about that coming up. And I know it's really exciting, and you want to, but just bear with us. We've got our forward here to do. So we have an ask as well. If you guys could please turn your cameras on. It's really fun. We've always wanted to see someone film themselves getting their scholarship. We've never seen it. So if you feel comfortable, we would love to see what that looks like on your side, because we always just have this side coming out. So it's a big ask, and if you guys feel comfortable, they would mean a lot to us if we could see that. So this last year and a half, I've been looking at the theme of rage. It's kind of been all-consuming, as well as healing and finding that peace and joy and just that true bliss. Because I don't know about anybody here, but this hum of rage is just palpable because of just all the stuff that happens to us and that we witness. And again, this has been really all-consuming for me. And so I've been listening to the stories of women and mothers since I was a child. And I was fascinated with the strategy that women have come up with for survival. And, friends, supporting one another and kind of picking up the slack and really making up the difference for the shortcomings of their partners or co-parents. And then when I became a young mother and a couple weeks later became a birth worker, I found I was in the position of supporting those workarounds. And I would lean on the women around me to get me through small things like school pickup or sharing sick kid days, all the way to big things like having my doula friends sleep over with their kids so that they could take care of Gray when I went to a birth. And these massive injustices didn't really seem to upset the mothers around me the way it did for me. They were such an extreme source of rage for me. And so before I came out again, I lasted less than a year with a male partner who disregarded my value and my time, who thought mothering work was easy and I made it look harder to be interesting or to make things more difficult for myself. And daily when he'd return home from work, which nowhere near covered the bills, his part-time employment, and I'd be bouncing at the stove in that witching hour, you guys all know it, with a baby in a sling, and he would say how much he hated opening the door and seeing me in the same place day after day. And I would go to bed alone, I would do the chores alone, I'd go to toddler swim, and I'd cut food, and I'd clean high chair trays, and I'd do odd jobs to pay the bills, and I'd be up all night, and then up all day, early the next morning, and it would be buying diapers, doctor's visits, play groups, laundry, rashes, patty cake over and over and over again. And I did it alone. And I was lonely and I was bored and I was deeply tired. And my purpose and excitement about life was kind of fading day after day. And the same look was on every mother's face at the school drop-offs and at the play centers. And behind closed doors, we also had the impact of racism, classism, homophobia, monitoring our food and our bodies, making meals work when we didn't have enough, dealing with the input of families who sometimes wanted to help, but just as often wanted to do harm or intentionally judge us and shame us. And we were forced to defend our why. Why are we bottle feeding? Why our babies are sleeping where they are? Why we let them cry or why we pick them up too much? And it's just day in, day out. And then we'd have moments with our babies and they would get us through those joyful relationship mothering moments. Or we felt no joy in those moments, and then we felt like bad moms or bad parents. And this is a topic we discuss with passion and gusto on our Hot and Brave podcast, and it literally is about rage. So you can check that out on your favorite podcast app. And the events of this serious harm is just added on top of these routines of survival. So that's we have sexual abuse added, we have harm from our partners, we have rejection, we have a lack of intimacy, we have no free time. Our doctors are doing things we didn't consent to. They're advising us to do things with our babies and our children we just don't feel right about. we did it because we wanted to be good mothers and we didn't like doing it, or worse, we felt like we had to do it because we had the fear of our children being taken. Many of us parent while we're dealing with family court and custody issues, which can add unbearable agony and strain to already something that is just paper thin. Never having enough food or money or time or love or safety. It's just the experience of women and mothers. And we are watched and we are policed and we're judged and we're celebrated too infrequently or never at all. And trying to do anything like finding the money for school fees or the time to go to class or to look for a job, let alone going to do more work, even if it is paid, feels like climbing a mountain. And this is why I started Babel Mia. This is why I want to find that solution, and I believe I have. And birth work was the solution for me, and it made me enough money to leave a situation I was suffering in. And I got my own house. And y'all, paying my first and last month's rent and getting bills in my name was the most empowering thing that ever happened to me in my parenting journey. Knowing that I did work that I was being paid for to help women become empowered mothers made it just that much better. I was saving their voices and I was protecting them, and I was doing all of it while I was protecting myself and protecting my daughter and saving her voice. Education is power, especially for women and for queer folks. And with education, frequently there's this possibility of promise of financial stability at the end of it. On the other side of graduation. And that's why it's so critical that we have better access. So both education and financial stability, they just sit like just out of reach for most women and under-resourced queer folks. So thank you so much for joining us today, because the scholarship program is something we are so proud of at Babel Mia, to be breaking down those barriers. And we have ensured that over, I'm going to say 300,000, but I think that number is higher. I haven't sat and done it this year, has been saved and set aside and distributed to people with a story just like yours and just like mine. And we are doing all of this together. And this process was created using methods that women and under-resourced queer folks have always used to survive together. It's that communal pot. We pool resources and we help each other. And you're all doing it in your ways too right now. We share food. We take care of each other's children. We drop off clothes after our kids outgrow them. There's so many ways, and we can do this to break down that barrier to achieving financial stability, especially when you're responsible for the dependents and the majority of the mental load, as well as the majority of the unpaid labor. So the team at Babel Mia wants to remove those barriers and create those opportunities so we can do our own version of passing on the clothes after our kids outgrow them. And we want to do that with each other's businesses, and we want to do it that preserves your autonomy and involves community together. So the way we exist as mothers has always been here. It is because of sexism. It's the belief that we're not as valuable, and this is an infection that's just like throughout our society, and it's global now. And so many new folks are standing together, and we're joining the fight against oppression. And I want to thank you, because we need you, and we need to band together, and we need to do it for more than just our survival, that we can get to that place of thriving and pure joy. And I wish the people who hold this power and are preventing us from doing this would join in, because until then, we're going to have to just do what we always do, and that's gather what we have and share it together. So this is something that we talk about a lot in our programs. We start talking about that from like week 2, because this is so much more than a school. We don't need another thing to do in our day. We need something that's going to make a change for us. We need friends. We need to be listened to. We need somebody to tell us we're doing a good job. Raise your hand if anybody today told you you were doing a good job, as you did, all the morning, or in our listeners across the globe, all the night tasks. We need to be reminded of the incredible power inside us, because it's there, and it might just be really, really dim, but we promise you, we will help you. We're going to help you get it stronger and bigger, and we're going to fan it for you, like starting this beautiful little fire. And I promise you, you will remember that. You will remember that inside you. And then you will be able to pass on that power and protect people and encourage them how to get their autonomy and get their voice back. And you can do that for those folks, your clients going through their reproductive journeys, because that's such an important time to remember. and you'll help them keep their flame alive, and you'll help fan it and have it grow. And this is how we can have that ripple effect from birth work. It is okay to feel the rage. We feel it all the time. Most of us do a really good job stuffing it down, or we numb, but feel it and then direct it to the places that deserve to see it, that they need to see it. They need to see our rage, not at ourselves, not at our children, not at our pesky mother-in-laws or our sisters or our irritating friends. They are the ones who get it, but we'll help you with this because we want to use it for fuel, and we want to use it for fuel to break down the patriarchy. So we started the Hot and Brave podcast about a year and a half ago. Season 3 is a bit delayed because we moved to the East Coast. But we talk about it, and we had one of our alumni on there, and she was saying she just got really comfortable with being uncomfortable, and she didn't really have time to do anything, like no self-care time. She was angry all the time. And after to see, not only did she get like a reclamation of what she's doing with her family, but she found time for herself, and she took up hobbies, as well as she's protecting Black birthers in Texas as they go through a system that is so high risk for them. And it was because she no longer wanted to be just like comfortable with uncomfortable. Like, oh, I just don't have time. Oh, I just have to, do all this busy work. So you can listen to that podcast. But it's a really great example of how she actually got like better with her family and made her own income and got more active in her community with just some like shifts and some decisions. So throughout the pandemic and this recession that feels like it's never ending, home life has become really heavy for a lot of us. For most of us here, I mean, that was a common theme through all of your applications. It's really unsafe for a lot of us. Not only are we under-resourced and have food insecurities, but there is like an even heightened lack of safety. So again, the folks, all of us here who carry the most are now given even more. So here is why we need our community, and this is why we have the program, so that we can all join together and have a place for you to do something for you, which will have a ripple effect that will also be great for other folks. So again, I've said this every scholarship, I think, since we started it. I think this is our like 18th round. There's a constant theme of violence. There's a theme of violence against women and queer folks and our children, and it's only getting louder with every application. I just every year keep hoping that there's going to be some kind of shift, and it just is increasing. And there's violence at the hands of the people we are supposed to be safe with and trust the most, or we're pressured to trust, like our doctors. But it's also our parents and our family members and our partners and our husbands and our boyfriends and our care providers. And we hear you and we believe you and we have you. And we're really, really excited about this year to see how many folks have just had this really resilient, brave, powerful journey, and that you're ready to apply it to birth work. You come from countries all over the world, and you're so darn brave and strong. We love what everybody here, you guys all have, a portion of your application to share your ideas, and they're amazing. So thank you for sharing all of those. Okay, so I always want to thank our committee. We had an itty bitty committee. Oh, I just made that up. That's so cute. And so we had Brogan, thank you, and Amy, thank you. And I was part of the committee, and Kelly, who year over year, she just makes it organized, and she runs it all, and she makes spreadsheets, and she has formulas going, and it's beautiful, and it's fueled with so much love. So Kelly, as always, you're amazing, and we adore you. So COVID and this recession, there's been a lot of industries impacted, but what has not been shared in the media is the worst time came to women and mothers at home, because we had even less to work with. And Babomia was also incredibly impacted, both of our team at home as well as the financial impact. And we are also deeply committed to keeping this alive through this recession. And the banks don't really care. They actually cared this much. And the COVID relief funds they were not allocated to us. So again, we've been pooling our time and our resources because this is how we are going to take care of one another. And we're continuing to ask for help in places where money is stagnant or that they have it. We're still looking for it, but we are going to keep moving that around and making sure that we can, stay vital and healthy and be continuing with our scholarship program. Because we're doing it for queer folks, and we're doing it for mothers, and we're doing it for primary parents who are also trying to make it work without enough. So we know how hard it is to ask, because we are asking all over the place, and it feels really bad most of the time. So I know you guys have been waiting, because this is what it is. There's scholarship announcements. So let's get to the announcement part. The last 3 sessions, we've done it a little bit differently, because some folks just need a little bit of help and some folks need a little bit more help. And so we overhauled our scholarship process. So we left room for you to tell us how much help that you did need. And so that meant for this session, we were able to say yes to 35 more people, because they got to say what amount of help would be ideal. So for those needing more help, we have the full scholarship for our winners, which we're going to read out today. Those who also needed almost full help, we have our runners up. And then we have our second runner up, and you will be receiving an email, and the majority of your tuition will also be covered. So you're going to be receiving an email in the next hour via email. That made no sense. You're going to be receiving a letter in the next hour via email. And so if you don't hear from us, please reach out to Kelly, info@babymalia.com. Please scan your spam and your junk to see if it got filtered. It will be coming from me, so Bianca. But again, Kelly is standing by, info@babymalia.com. Okay, here we go for our winners. So we're going to start with the birth justice component. I just want to make sure if there's any things. Okay, great. I'm kind of going back and forth here to see from the camera to the chat box. Okay, so the Birth Justice Award. So I'm going to read just what the awards are and then about a recipient. So the Birth Justice Award recognizes an applicant whose project, idea, or business plan works to dismantle structure, inequalities, and challenge the lack of consent and violence that is commonplace in reproductive health and obstetrics. The recipient understands that the experience of violence and trauma greatly influences early family life and parenting experiences, and the recipient seeks to create change by advocating for choice, informed consent, and improving the outcomes for individuals and communities with whom they engage. When we are looking for a candidate for our Birth Justice Award, we're looking for people just like this next winner. So this applicant is a Latina mother, daughter, sister, friend, and advocate who holds a degree in social work and is a certified lactation counselor. Her passion providing care with a person-centered, culturally competent, and equitable energy grabbed our attention. She has big plans to support New Mexicans that are already facing challenges like ensuring economic success, food insecurity, housing instability, family violence, and more. She's already working with a nonprofit. This applicant plans to use this training to advocate for living wages for birth workers, accountability to systemic inequalities, and offer education without barriers to rural and maternity care deserts. So we are so excited to announce the winner of the Birth Justice Award is Siboney Rodriguez. Congratulations. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm like cheering alone. That's kind of weird. Congratulations. And we have a runner-up for this award. Again, for the Birth Justice Award, we have Raquela Dixon of Rosedale, Maryland. Congratulations to both of you. You are going to be in the MSP program. Please keep an eye on for your acceptance letters. The next one we have is the Intersectional or Bust Award. So this award recognizes an applicant whose project, idea, or business plan works to dismantle the impact of structural oppression in reproductive health in their community. They will use their unique understanding of the interconnected nature of race, gender, sexual orientation, ability, body, and class to create opportunities that directly challenge these oppressive forces. By working directly with people whose lives are impacted by these destructive forces, this person will contribute to increase the access to opportunities for individual empowerment and make steps towards a sense of equity and justice for BIPOC and or LGBTQIA+ individuals within the healthcare system. Okay, so again, this is the Intersectional or Bust Award, and our winner for this award is an immigrant from South Asia to Edmonton, Canada. who is part of a community of other newcomers or those who do not speak English who are facing barriers to adequate care in Alberta. Having faced her own traumas during pregnancy and childbirth, she's determined to prevent others from enduring similar hardships. Her vision involves bringing the divide between individuals who have encountered challenges and discrimination while seeking healthcare. Her primary objective is to ensure equitable access to care, education, on interventions and nutrition, and resources pertaining to issues like poverty, intercultural, or queer parenting within her community. This application blew me away. Just to hear the powerful pieces from our application, we have a quote. We are told, this is a quote, we are told that birthing is a natural process, breastfeeding is natural. If that's the case, then why did I and so many birthing mothers I know experience so much grief, trauma, isolation, and discrimination from medical staff? So our winner is for the Intersectional or Bust Award. For September 2023, we have Pallavi Kambo. Congratulations. And we also have a runner-up for this category. So we are very excited about this applicant and thrilled to offer the scholarship to Ashley Crawford in New Orleans, Louisiana. You are our runner-up for our Intersectional or Bust Award. Congratulations. Next up, I'm going to check the chat box. Okay, great. And Kelly will be, I'll show Kelly's comments as we go. Thank you, Kelly, for doing this. Okay, the next one up is the Babel Mia Be Brave. This is the OG scholarship. This was our very first one. And, this one just gets me all emotional. Okay, so the Be Brave Award is talks a lot about like the worth and potential and resilience. So the recipient will demonstrate this connection through the resilience of spirit, positive attitude, and a willingness to meet challenges head on. Their business plan and personal goals reflect the spirit of Babel Mia's mission to connect folks to their intrinsic value and power through excellent evidence-based doula care, prenatal and or childbirth education. So our next winner is from Fort Wayne in Indiana, and her application blew us away. She showed huge amounts of resilience, strength, and perseverance. Her application was so eloquent and passionate, and it definitely made us emotional while we were reading it. She experienced the unthinkable loss of her son, who was about 4 months old on her birthday. And in her application, she shares that her community has the highest infant mortality rates. And she says, quote, "It pushes me harder for mothers to have positive birth experiences, fight for underserved birthing people, and to fight for the infant mortality rate to drop in my community." And in the midst of her grief, she encountered this like, this is like ignited inside her, this deep and profound passion. And so she is determined not only to become a doula herself, but she does so much work within the grief counseling and to support other parents who are navigating through these complex emotions around loss and the challenges that come from both pregnancy and childbirth. So she volunteers at the postpartum as a postpartum and bereavement coordinator, and she has plans to offer her services on a sliding scale, hosting educational classes, both online and in person, and one-on-one sessions with families. And she's currently designing a walk around pregnancy and infant loss in October. So we'll get her to share her fundraising for that as well. And she wants to make her knowledge and resources as accessible as possible, and we commend her on doing so. Her unwavering commitment to helping others in their times of need is truly inspiring. Okay, so congratulations to Tanya Campbell. You're amazing. You are the recipient of the Babel Mia Be Brave Award, and we have 2 runners-up for this one. So the first runner-up is Evelyn Bussell of Raleigh, North Carolina. And then we have Antonia Ward of Dayton, Ohio, is also a runner-up. So congratulations to Tanya, Evelyn, and Antonia. You are all recipients of the Babel Mia Be Brave bursary. Let me just get Kelly's up here. Yay, okay, great. Next up, we have the Philanthropy Award, and this award recognizes an applicant whose project, personal goals, or business plan includes a component of paying it forward. The recipient will demonstrate a spirit of altruism and exhibit a dedication to generosity, and will have a solid plan around how they will use their doula training to give back to their local community or to underserved populations. So our next winner is from Texas, but they have roots in Chicago. She's a stay-at-home mom of 3 littles. She's also in school full-time, working on nursing prerequisites with an interest in becoming a midwife, which was a very common theme. We had a big group of future midwives in this cohort. She possesses a deep dedication to prenatal and birth support, driven by a desire to empower families and to offer affordable care and educational resources to make a meaningful impact on local and cultural communities. Her personal childbirth experiences have significantly influenced her decision to pursue this career path. While she acknowledges that each of those births held its own unique significance, she often sees others grapple with feelings of voicelessness and vulnerability. And we hear you there. It's a very common theme for birth workers to witness. She has a desire for greater support and advocacy and hopes to provide this for others. We especially love this quote, "Pregnant people deserve to experience a magical birth, one that is transformative and restorative." So without further ado, we are thrilled to announce our winner, who is Ali Maris Hernandez. Congratulations, you are the winner of the Philanthropy Award. And we also have a runner-up, so congratulations to Savannah Esquivel of Austin, Texas. We have 2 Texans, so there's a lot of philanthropy happening down south. Okay, next up is the BIPOC Doula Journey Bursary. Oh wait, I forgot to do the Kelly part. There it is. Thank you, Kelly. Aaron, thanks for having our hype in the box there. The next is the BIPOC Doula Bursary. The BIPOC Doula Journey Bursary recognizes a BIPOC applicant who demonstrates an aptitude for birthwork, client care, and a genuine desire to start and grow their own business. And we had an overwhelming number of applicants for this category every year. It's our biggest category. And so it's just more evidence for how much need in the BIPOC community for racialized birth workers to be serving racialized clients. And so we had 2 full scholarship winners this year, plus 2 runner-up. So the full scholarship for the first one is from Ridgecrest, California, and despite enduring life-altering tragedy, she's displayed remarkable persistence and continued to forge ahead. And here's one of our favorite quotes. Quote, "I'm committed to addressing the unique needs and challenges faced by Black women during pregnancy and childbirth. It is evident that Black women often experience disparities in maternal care, facing higher rates of maternal mortality and inadequate support. I want to be a doula to contribute to positive change in this area by offering culturally sensitive care, advocacy, and a safe space for Black women during their birthing journey." Close quote. And she has plans to offer free and low-cost services to individuals who may not have access to such support. She wants to engage in the community workshops and have educational sessions, collaborate with healthcare providers, community centers, organizations, and mentor other doulas. Her application had a clear path of what she would like to accomplish, and we cannot wait to cheer her on. Congratulations to Khadijah Carter. You are our first winner of the BIPOC Doula Bursary. The next one up is a mother of 3 from Nairobi, Kenya, and she's already supported friends through labor and postpartum, and these experiences ignited a spark within her and a burning passion to become a doula. She plans to give childbirth education courses to new parents who can't afford such services, as she was also a young mom. Recognizing the financial struggles within her community, she is selflessly planning to provide monthly pro bono doula services, ensuring that every family, regardless of their economic circumstance, can access vital support during childbirth. Her love for community serves as an inspiration to all who cross her path. Congratulations to Laura Mowry. You are one of our winners of the BIPOC Doula Bursary. And we have 2 runners up. We have Tyquise Randolph of Elwood, Georgia, and Amanda Jackman of Toronto, Ontario. And it's always very fun to have Torontonians win because that's where Babel Mia started. Next up is a near and dear is the Queer for Queers Care Award. And I have to, I forgot to share Kelly's. There we go. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, next up, we have the Queers for Queer Care Award. And this awards a person who self-identifies as being part of the queer community and who also plans to serve queer clients. The recipient's business plan will use their intimate understanding of the challenges in our community and help navigate healthcare systems that are commonly cishet to ensure that their clients are treated with dignity, respect, and care throughout their journey of reproductive health, birth, and parenting. Okay, so, understanding how complicated the systems are as a gay person, it feels really right to have this award specifically for Queers for Queer Care. I work almost exclusively with queer clients, and the effort is beyond exhausting of supporting them not only with just the needs that are happening for all folks, but also to have gender-affirming care, family-affirming care. There's a lot of inappropriate questions and all of these things, and it's really important, just like for racialized folks, that we have members from community serving within that community. Okay, so the winner of the 2023 Queers for Queer Care Award hails from Tennessee and has goals to bring informed consent to communities who have had their voices silenced. She aspires to support the BIPOC and queer community through birth work, and their own dream is to become a foster parent when they are ready to grow their family. Congratulations to Elizabeth Crabtree. You are the recipient for the Queers for Queer Care Award for the September 2023 session. And we have a runner-up as well for this one. So Anna Wiley of Selma, Oregon. Congratulations, you are the runner-up for the Queers for Queer Care. From everyone here at Babel Mia, we know your voice counts, and we want to see all the wonderful things you are going to do for the queer community. So congratulations. Now we have the doula disruptor. So I'm going to bring up Erin.
Hello. Hi, everyone. It's dark here. The kids are sleeping. But I'm so excited. Like, for all of the announcements that you just made, it was like, yes, yes, yes.
Yay.
But I'm so honored to be doing this announcement with you, because the goal of the Doula Disruptors Bebo Babes PH program was to collaborate with Bebo Mia to help grow the doula community in the Philippines through accessible maternal support practitioner training. It is our mission to elevate birthing practices for birthers and families here in the Philippines and eventually achieve the dream of all birth experiences to become beautiful, gentle, and loving, whatever the outcome may be. So through this amazing collaboration with Bebo Mia, we are one step closer to that goal, adding that we are also breaking barriers in the Philippines as well. So for the last cohort, we have five up and coming doulas added to our Birthkeeper tribe, and it is with great pride and joy that I announce that there will be 2 more additions this September. Yay! So the first winner that I will be announcing is from Antipolo Rizal. Whoop whoop! Yay to Antipolo! And a mom to 2 littles. She has lived through the chaos of what unsupported births have meant here in the Philippines. Husbands not being allowed in the birthing space and all. And she knows that with all of her heart and soul that nobody was meant to experience birth that way. I feel you. and as amazing as she is using this fire and willpower to make sure that each birther gets the support that they need. In her application, she has shared that she has been supporting friends and family through her own lived experiences. And now she will be able to grow her passion for birth work through this program. So congratulations, Rachel Joy Castro.
Now we have 2 people to cheer together. It feels
yes, I know. I was cheering with you in the background, though. So the next amazing application that we received came all the way from Marikina. It's funny, like the first one came from trauma, and then this one coming from 2 amazing births. So having a birth doula for 2 of her 3 births, This mama believes that every birther deserves the highest level of care and support during this transformative time. So having both her husband and children support during her births, it was one hell of a family affair that they would forever cherish, right? So two best of both worlds. So with this application, I do have hope here for I do have hope for the Philippines. So her application radiates this positivity and empowerment that she intends to share with her community, and she recognizes that every birth is unique, and that by becoming a doula she would be able to make a meaningful contribution by helping families navigate one of the most significant experiences of their lives. So congratulations, Angeline Muriel Dial. Yay!
Yay! Congratulations. Welcome to the program. We are so happy to have you. And just a couple wrap-up things. Please, we have more awards coming. So you will get your email. So look out for that. And you'll get your letter. Please read it carefully. And Kelly will answer any questions that you have, because it will teach you how to also claim your scholarship. So our MSP program starts September 21st, and we have just opened the peer group on Friday. So it's really exciting to see everyone jump in. Erin is one of our peer mentors. And so you got to see her face already. We have a webinar all about it if you want to go to our website and see about our program, and you can sign up at babelmia.com/links. And now more than ever, it feels so critical to get birth workers back in the space, because we saw what happened over COVID when we weren't allowed in the space. So it's really, really important there. Kelly's just flagged that I missed a couple scholarships. So you guys will be getting your letters, and they will be going out. So if anyone here is like, oh no, Erin and I missed them, and that's just fine. Here we go. And for all of you birth nerds out there, you can find your squad, gain financial freedom, all while changing the world. Join our MSP, aka doula training. We would love to have you in the program. Anyone who has that love of babies and bellies and wants to be a protector of, this is the career for you. So you can head over to babelmia.com and grab a spot in our MSP training. We offer payment plans. We have no hidden fees. Please, if you are exploring other doula trainings, check out the hidden fees, exam fees, membership fees, book fees, manual fees, continuing education fees. There's a whole bunch of them there. I want to thank our whole committee for volunteering all their time. Thank you to Erin and her team who did the disruptor. And then over here across the pond over in North America, thanks again to Amy and to Brogan and to Kelly. There's so many folks behind the scenes here making this all happen. Congratulations to our winners. And thank you to everybody who is joining in the fight for safe and accessible care for all people going through their fertility, pregnancy, birth, and postpartum periods. All right, y'all. We will see you in the class. If you have any questions, info@babelmia.com, and we will get you those answers. Erin, thank you for staying up in the middle of the night to read the winners.
Congratulations, everyone.
Okay, thanks, everybody. Bye.